Hello crafters, this is Jackie from Stampin' Jack Independent Stampin' Up Demonstrator. Today I wanted to show you how to make a shadow frame box. I think that's what it's called. So this is one that I've made before, but I'm just going to talk you through how to get around, how to actually make the box itself, and then we'll do a little bit of decorating. So, first thing to do is, to make a box this size, I started with a sheet of cardstock that measured 11 inches by 11 inches, which we've got here. And what we need to do is to score at 1/2 inch, 1 inch, 1.5 inches, and 2 inches. And then we need to do that on all 4 sides. So I'll just quickly... 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. So I'm just using basic black cardstock for this particular project, as you can see. The one that I've just shown you was made using with early espresso cardstock, because I'm using the Serene Scenery Designer Series paper cardstock. I love the images in this. This is retiring at the moment, so I thought I'd better use it up. So then what we do is, you can see we've got our score lines all the way around. And then what we do is we're going to take a score line from the 2.5 point just down to the second score line here, if you can see that. Okay. Then over here we're going to go in 1/2 inch, so we're at the 8.5 inch score line, and again take it down to the second score line here. Good score there. Okay, then we're going to turn it, and on the opposite side we're going to do the same. So 2.5 down to the second score line, and 8.5 down to the second score line. So this is what you have. Okay, so we can put our scoreboard away for now. Now we're going to do some cutting. Get my scissors. So what we want to do is, I'll bring this up, hopefully you can see it, is we're going to cut along this short score line, like this. And then we're going to take a line across from this corner to this corner. I'm going to do a diagonal cut. I'll go across. And then we're going to cut up to the corner. Can you see the shape that we've got there? Then we're going to cut up this score line here. So we have this shape here. So then we repeat this on all 4 corners. Okay. So we cut up the short score line, across the corner, and then up. Okay, can you see that? Up the short score line, cut the corner, and then straight up again. And then cut the corner off. And then this side, and do this side first. So again, up the short score line, cut the corner, and then straight up again. So you end up with this shape here. Alright, so next we're going to do our burnishing. So it's very easy. Just go around and burnish all of the lines on each of the sides, making sure that when you fold your sides up that they're actually straight, so you get a nice straight edge for your frame. There we go. I'm actually able to record in daylight today because I've got a day off from work, so it's quite nice to craft in daylight. Normally I have to do all my crafting in the evenings. So there we go. Makes lighting a little bit less of a challenge. Almost there. On to the last side. Okay, So there we have it. So this is going to become our frame. So the next thing we need to do, just get the tape, is we need to put our tape on this. Now you can use wet glue, but I find it's just a little bit messy. I find that double-sided tear and tape is the easiest thing to work with. So we're going to flip, you can see where we've got our frame here with the pieces folding in. So we're just going to flip it over, and on each of the end panels we're going to attach some double-sided tape. Okay, what you want to try and do is to get it as close as possible to this first score line here. There we go. Okay. I like the fact that you can just tear this adhesive rather than cut it, because it means then that I don't need to keep a separate scissors just for my adhesive. And there's nothing worse than picking up a scissors to cut something with to find that it's all glued up. It's one of my pet peeves. Whoops. Just there. Okay, last one. Okay, so that's the 4 big sides done. So you have, here we are. Okay, so you've got your 4 sides. Then what we do is flip it over, and we're going to put adhesive on these little corners here. So again, make sure you've got a good covering and tear. Good covering. Tear. This box actually comes together really quickly. I've been looking at them on YouTube and on Pinterest for a while, and I really like them, but wasn't quite sure how to do it. So I thought I would share. Now that I do know, I thought that I'd share it with you guys. So next we're going to flip it back over, and we're just going to start to put our sides in. So we start with the straight sides here, not this one that we've cut away. So all we need to do is tear off this bit. Save this bit because we're going to need this in a moment, okay? So what we do is fold this piece in half, like this, and then fold it in half again and press down. And what you should get then is that your frame. It just pops up into a square. See that? Okay. And then we just repeat that on the other side. So fold it in half along the score lines. Take the tape off. If your tape is just sticking out over the edge like mine is, just pop it in like that. Fold it over. Press it down, and you've got your square. Okay. So next we're going to do the sides. So what we're going to do is peel off the tape. Again, if you've got a little bit extra, just fold it over so that it's inside. Keep it neat. And then you're going to put the paper backing from your tape over your tape, because we don't want this to stick just yet. So we're going to do the same on this side. You can see, keep them fairly long so that they come back out again. There we go. So I'm just going to do one side and then we'll go and do the next. Okay, so now we'll take the adhesive from here again, fold it in slightly, and then all you do is just roll this in. Use your fingers to hold the edges out slightly, and then you want to just roll this in and under and into place. So it's a bit fiddly, but you'll get there. Okay. Now don't press it down just yet, because now what we want to do is we want to just pull these tabs out, and then that will allow us to just line up our corners the way we want. See that? So we'll do the same on this side. And again, just line up. I think we've got, no, I'm right. Just line up our corners. Give it a good press down to make sure they're secure. All right, so you've got a nice, neat corner there. We're going to do exactly the same on this side. So pop the tape off and then reattach our tabs. Same on this side. Undo the tape. There we go. And again, just reattach that. We just roll it over and under into place like this. Pull our tabs out. Should come out nice and easily, and then just line our corners up. Okay. Same on this side. Press it, as I say, when you do the corners, you want to press it down quite firmly to make sure that your corners, I've got a piece still stuck in there, I have. Make sure that your corners are nice and rigid. Okay, so when that's done, you can see that actually it gives you quite a sturdy frame. And the reason I've started with an 11 by 11 sheet, I mean, you can start with 12 by 12, you can do smaller sizes, you can do them any size you like. The reason I've started with this is that when you do this, it just about then will take a sheet of our 6 by 6 cardstock. Now again, not every frame will be exactly the same, so it may need a slight trim in places, but you can figure that out for each individual one. So I can see this needs a little bit of a trim on this side, so excuse me for a moment while I take this over to my trimmer and just take a sliver off the side. There we go. So now we see that it goes in quite nicely. Now, you can tuck it underneath. Most of the time it will just slide in underneath the corners here. If you want to, you can just add a little bit of liquid glue on the back of your sheet to help hold it in. And in fact, I'm going to do that with this one, just to make sure. But before I do that, I'm going to stamp on this sheet. So I'm taking it back out. So I'm going to use the Wetland set, which again is another one that's retiring. It's got some beautiful, beautiful images in it. And I'm going to stamp in basic black. And this is just really, really simple. I'm going to simply ink up. I'm just going to stamp some birds along the waterline here. Just like that. And then I'm going to stamp some grass along this side. There we go. And that's all I'm going to do. I'm going to keep this super, super simple. Okay? This is just to give you an idea of what you can do to decorate. So there you go. You've got a simple piece of framed artwork. You could, if you wanted, add a sentiment into the top here, whatever you like, but I actually quite like it as it is. So there we have that one. This is the one that I showed you to begin with. This again is using the same paper, and all I've done is I've die cut a dragonfly and added a sentiment to it. And if you wanted something slightly larger, this one here is using a 12 by 12 sheet of card. What I've done is I've started with white and I've stamped it with our hardwood design to give it that lovely wood grain effect. And I've used our By the Shore Designer Series paper in the back. The butterflies are just punched out from various different shades of pink and purple and a little bit of vellum. And the sentiment here is from our Gorgeous You, or is it Beautiful You stamp set. But it gives you an idea of if you start with a full sheet of cardstock, then this is what you can end up with. Similarly, if you wanted to go smaller, I've done a very small one here. Just a very tiny little box, just enough room for one small flower. Very, very simple. And then also, if you wanted to use some A4 cardstock, if you start with a sheet of A4, I haven't decorated this, and apply the same half inch, half inch, half inch, half inch measurements, then you get a frame just like this. So you could work it that way or that way. So again, that would work well for a nice photograph or anything you want really. Once you know how to do these frames, really the possibilities are endless. It's just like a card front, and you can decorate it as and how you wish. So I hope you enjoyed that. Thank you very much for watching, and see you again sometime. Thank you.